We are one game away from the Premier League title. So if you're feeling sick with nerves, like we are, click the subscribe button in your podcast app, hit the hype button on the YouTube app, and please get involved in the conversation. Arsenal 1, Burnley 0, Havertz at 37 minutes. We had said, let's go for 5-0 win on Friday. It didn't quite pan out that way. But we are 5 points clear of Manchester City with one league game left for us to play. And we had 9 minutes of nail-biting stoppage time at the end of that game. And I've pretty much got no fingers. Jonny, I don't know how you're feeling.
Mate, that was revolting, Luce. It really was. Honestly, the whole of the second half was like a torture session. It genuinely was. At first, I mean, going back to, I guess, right back to the start when I saw the team sheet, I think I was quite excited. I don't know how you felt, Luce. I looked at that team, that midfield statement of intent.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very aggressive, attacking setup. He went with, Martin Odegaard, Eze in midfield, with Saka, Trossard either side of Kai Havertz. So you're thinking, right, yeah, he's really going to go for it. The cannons are coming out. And then it didn't quite pan out that way, did it?
No, it didn't. I mean, once again, I guess like West Ham, we started quite confidently, and I felt there was an ambitious arrogance, there was a swagger, there was more risk taking in the ball. Like, I've noticed Declan and Odegaard definitely were given a directive before the game to play more, not carefree passing, but to punch the ball in and take chances with the passes, trying to find the killer ball effectively and play forward. And I noticed that, early on, that was the case. But then, gradually as the half went on and the game went on later on in the second half, we sort of reverted back to type in terms of safe play, recycling the ball. Odegaard stopped trying to scoop pass, which he tried about 15 times today, and he started just, dropping deeper, getting the ball, playing the ball, and sort of being extra patient.
Yeah.
Going back to the first half, it was a case of, I thought we needed that early goal. We didn't get it, it just became a little nervy really quickly, I feel. As good as the fans were today, the fans were unbelievable in the stadium. I could hear them. So it wasn't down to that. It wasn't nervy in the stands. But I just felt like we didn't do enough, I think we became very safe very quickly.
It got to about 25 minutes, I felt like. And everyone was kind of like, all right, we haven't quite scored yet. And then, like you said, you see Odegaard picking up the ball on the back line a bit far too often for me, to be honest. Because the back line aren't moving it quick enough, when really you want those players to be punching it into him in the middle for him to turn on the ball in those space and in those gaps. And then you just had flashbacks of the season just gone by, of like teams sitting in deep and us just not being able to break them down. And you were getting a lot of that fear, I think, as I was as a fan. I stayed pretty calm. I was like, we're gonna get a goal. Like it's gonna come. But I did not expect to go in at 1-0 at half time. To be honest, I was happy when we went in at 1-0 at half time after the first 25 minutes.
I mean, to be fair, I think today was a case of what Mikel wanted, why he started Havertz, and we had Trossard, and we had Odegaard and Eze playing in midfield. We wanted technical security. Saka was brilliant in that first half. He was very quiet in the second half, but in the first half, you just knew the ball was going to stick. Gary Neville talked a lot about how he was receiving it on the back foot and it giving him chance to turn and bring other players into play or spin off and get a shot off, and that happened a little bit. But with all the things with how good Trossard was today, I feel like with his technical security once again and just holding onto the ball, calming things down. If he goes out to him, that we can sustain an attack, and we had that throughout the pitch. But there was one area where I noticed from the very start of the first half was Mosquera, who isn't as comfortable on the ball. And what we do, for some reason, because we overload that right-hand side, Mosquera kept getting into positions where he was getting the ball in positions he shouldn't really be having the ball, because he's not the the cleanest in possession, and he quite clumsy, to be fair. And I felt like a lot of attacks sort of broke down, and that was a pattern that continued as the game progressed. So I felt like we didn't have a choice. We didn't have another right back, but we definitely missed Timber and Ben White tonight. And don't get me wrong, he was brilliant. His recovery, defensively, he was brilliant, Mosquera, and I love him, and he tries very hard, but he probably isn't a right back for us going forward.
Yeah, he's definitely in there doing a job, and like you said, we're definitely missing the players that suit that role better. It's almost like when he's got the line to his right, it's actually not an advantage for him. It turns into a disadvantage for him, and sometimes he just turns into it, and he's like, right, I've got nowhere else to go. But back on Saka, we've really, really, really missed him, and these last 2 games have really showed that, and it was nice to see him get a full 90 under his belt, get some time ahead of the next 2 big games. And when you've got him on the pitch, it does feel like he could just pull something out of nothing. Him and Eze are the ones that I look for in those kinds of moments. And he put in a really good cross. He got another assist. I think he is in our top sort of 4 or 5 players,
assist makers of all time.
In terms of assists, I think that was his 50 of 1. So it's awesome to have him back again. Trossard, like you said, he was a bit like glue today. Also, Gyökeres, I thought when he came on, he was the same actually in terms of holding the ball up. That was really nice to see.
He was great.
Yeah, there was some exciting play. Let's touch a little bit on the goal. Obviously, Havertz has missed large majority of the season, and he got a start today, and he did pull it out of the bag for us.
Yeah, he definitely did. And before that, we've been taking a load of short corners, and I think the crowd were getting very frustrated with why we weren't just put in the box when we are the set piece kings.
To be fair, I was one of those people getting annoyed at the short corners after a while. Going to be honest.
No, 100%.
But Saka did literally stick it right on his head at the top of the 6-yard box.
I don't know where the keeper was, by the way, because he literally was, Havertz was standing on the goal line with a free header.
Mate, he went to go and then he stopped, and then when you do that and you're stuck in no man's land, you're just absolutely pinned to the floor.
But once again, it's that elusive, intelligent movement. I know I sound like Kai Havertz's biggest fan, but he gives you something following on from his what I think was a pretty good performance that I think Gyökeres doesn't quite have. I think Gyökeres might have been wrestling with a substitute at that time, and he wouldn't be in that position. So so I'm very thankful. Easiest goal we'll ever score. But once again, big goals. Kai Havertz scoring big goals for the club, and I feel like we can't underestimate the level or the contributions that he has given this club when he's been fit. And he's played at 9, not in the midfield. He normally delivers more often than not, and then sort of let himself down. But luckily, Mikel was smart enough to switch him up after that silly challenge he made in the second half, which I feel he was really lucky with. I don't want to dwell on it, but I feel like VAR could have gone the other way with that decision, because it was a really, really sort of naughty, dangerous, spiteful late challenge, dragging his foot down the back of the opposition player's calf.
When I first saw the tackle, I thought yellow card, but when they started to play it back, and it, when you slow it down, you slow it in slow motion, it always looks worse. Also, because the Burnley players didn't really protest that much. No. I was thinking, I don't think there's anything here. But then when you did see it from the angle that was sort of from behind, I was like, good Lord, if we get a red card 1-0, what the... this is classic.
I think my organs would have all melted. I've got this thing recently watching Arsenal where I have cold, wet feet watching us. I'll be honest.
That's so grim.
It's horrible, isn't it? It's horrible. It's turning me into some sort of leper or something watching us. I swear to God. But I literally saw my the amount of times you see your life flash before your eyes watching Arsenal over the last 4 weeks. It's been uncomfortable.
Yeah, I do think he was probably a little bit lucky. I do think if that were to have got given, I wouldn't have been that surprised. I think the thing that saved him was the lack of force that kind of he went in with it, and it was almost like a little bit of a scrape, I guess. But if that had been given as a red, I
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been that surprised. So, cheers VAR, I guess.
Yeah, once again.
Yeah, once again.
I'll be honest. As after that goal goes in, I'm thinking, where's the second goal? Where's the second goal? Half time comes, and we start. And we've started second half so poorly. I felt like there's been a lack of urgency. It's almost been we sort of sleptwalked the first 15 minutes of second half, and that happened again today. It's not like Burnley were ever in the game, so it's lucky because of their lack of quality. We never really had to deal with anything. But the longer that half went on, Gary Neville kept saying, if it weren't already a very difficult, intense game to watch, having Gary Neville fantasising about a freakish moment that could come at any moment, if it gets the last 10 minutes and it's this 1-0, something freakish could happen. I'm like, mate, I hadn't even thought about that. I'm thinking about him nicking a goal from a corner, but then he starts talking about 40-yard, stunners, screamers from Kyle Walker and whatnot, and the fact that every City player's been texting him, and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, what could actually happen here? So yeah, it became a precarious nightmare as that half continued, and you know what? They barely had a shot. They didn't have a shot from inside the area. They didn't have a shot on target all game. Fleming was a little nuisance, and I was worried about him. But yeah, even with the 7 minutes of injury time, we managed it quite well. If
I'm honest, I feel like City will probably be fine tomorrow because that's just how our season's gone.
Yeah,
and we've just not made it easy. So I feel like it will come down to the Palace game, and we will be pulling our hair out on the last day of the season, but hopefully also celebrating. So Hincapie, he came on. I thought he did pretty well.
Yep, exposing himself, but also he was good. He brought that necessary level of aggression, running about, closing down, pressing high.
Then he got his bum out.
Yeah, then he got his bum out.
Yeah.
Gives you everything.
Everything.
It's a man that gives you everything.
I actually had no idea what was going on, and he sat there for a while with his shorts
down. He was thinking like, Jesus, I can't actually get up now.
Yeah.
If I get up, I might get a flipping charge. But yeah, no, fair play. That was, do you know what? At that point in the game, we probably needed that light relief. It didn't really do much. I just thought, mate, pull your trousers up. But in the stadium,
then you saw the replay, and it was quite funny.
Yeah, it was. And the crowd who, if I'm struggling indoors, sitting upstairs in the loft in Catford, if I'm struggling, the people in the stadium probably needed that, just to sort of break that tension, So thank you, Hincapie. What a contribution.
Yeah, thanks for getting your cheeks out, mate. Appreciate it. So we touched a little bit on the City game tomorrow. They play Bournemouth tomorrow night. There was a little bit of a rumour circulating during the game that this may well be Pep's last season. Bit of a weird time for it to leak out.
Yeah, I mean, not to get my conspiracy theorist hat put it on, but I do feel that there was a little bit of mind games with that. Because, listen, the thing is...
explain that. What do you mean? How's that going to work?
The thing is, for the Mail to break a story, because it's an exclusive, and I think it came through the Mail, that at that point, I would imagine that there was some sort of talk between the paper and the club and when they were going to release it. I think, personally, and this is the most logical reason for doing it would be, okay, we need to win tomorrow. What's going to get the crowd, the players all on side? Let's do this for Pep. Because I noticed when Klopp did it 2 seasons ago with Liverpool, he went too early and there was almost too much emotion around it. It sort of took away from the performance. He went, I think in February it got leaked and and I think it affected the performances. But when you need you got one shot. They got to win 2 games. If they beat Bournemouth convincingly, next Sunday is hell for us and the Arsenal players. Because to be fair, the players already know. The players already know Pep's leaving. But the fans and everyone else, it might be that extra bit, the extra 1% they might need to go there and win. I hope not, obviously, but that might be the reason.
When the news broke during the game, I didn't go to any particular theory or think about the Pep. Sorry, not the Pep.
Because you're not a maniac like me, Lucy.
The Liverpool reference is a pretty good one in terms of timing and stuff. Yeah. But I just thought it was weird. Like, it was bizarre, like a bizarre time. Like it had been leaked, or the story had got out like accidentally.
It's probably been leaked, to be fair.
I
just did 5 minutes. I just done 5 minutes, but yeah, it's probably leaked, to be fair.
I prefer your theory. It's way more entertaining.
Oh, you're so kind, Luce.
It's way more entertaining. But I did think the timing was a bit strange. Like halfway through an Arsenal game, I was like, a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But couldn't think of the bigger picture, if I'm being honest. But yes, Man City play Bournemouth tomorrow night. Luke and Jim will talk about that tomorrow on the Weekend Review. I will be watching it. I'm actually out for dinner, so I'm going to have to watch it on my phone. Where are you going to be, mate?
Where am I going to be tomorrow? I'm supposed to be down at Paul Weller's, but I'm at Paul Weller's doing a writing camp, and he's a Chelsea fan, so he'll be cheering on City. But yeah, I need to get home. Actually, I'm not watching that with him. I'll get home. I'll watch it at home. So
you've rushed home from the writing camp. You've sat down, and Man City have just blown it. How are you celebrating?
Do you know what? I might be able to actually eat on a match day, which I haven't been for a little while. I might order a massive Chinese. You know, like Geezer, I've just met him the other day, actually, Bosch. I'm going to do a proper, like, Bosch Chinese order. That's what I'll do. Then, because I'll be up, because I ain't got much to do on Wednesday. It's my first, like, free day for a little while. So I might then go and meet some gunners and go and get right on it. Until like Wednesday lunchtime. If this happens, like I've come up with the best plan ever off the dome. I'm gonna get a massive Chinese, and then I'm gonna go and shout all of my friends in the WhatsApp group, see who's about, and we're gonna go and get on it somewhere. Even if it means we're getting on it in a park, I'm gonna go and do that. That's what I'm doing.
The 15-year-old Jonny is coming.
Yes, if needs be. How will you celebrate? Have you got a busy day on Wednesday?
Yeah, I actually have a mad busy day on Wednesday, to be honest. But
why are we so busy, Luce?
I don't know. I am out with mates tomorrow night, and then if we do win, I'm already out, so I'll probably head to North London, set off a few flares.
Smart.
Maybe order a few spring rolls like yourself.
Yeah.
At the roundabout.
I'll bring the Catherine wheels. I'll get up there during my night. It'll be one of those ones. It'll be one of them turnouts. So I'll end up in North London, I'm sure.
We'll end up in North London then, and everyone will end up in the Dolphin or something.
I'll meet Danny Graff. Danny Graff's on Cali Road. I'll go and meet him in his old man, and that's where we'll end up.
We'll all be sitting there like a bag of nerves, to be honest, and then we'll see how Sunday goes.